Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you have not liked and subscribed the channel, please like and subscribe the channel. In this video I am going to share you how you can use Microsoft Graph. If you are Microsoft Intune admin or working as a consultant, I'm gonna show you, or you may be familiar with the Microsoft Graph API, right? So if you want to do something more beyond the GUI, through the script, right, or through the API, if you want to do some automation. Now automation is one of the key in every organization, so you should learn how you can use the API so that you can use this Graph API into any other third-party application or any automation tools. You can grab the informations and manipulate or use that the Intune data or inventory or any any informations to into your applications, or like for building the report into Power BI. So this is the video I am gonna create. I'm gonna record to so that you can learn Microsoft Graph from basic, right? So I have already made few of the videos on how you can use the API through the Postman applications or other PowerShell script, but this time I'm gonna show you what Microsoft is actually providing through Graph API URL, and how you can grab that exact API URL so that you can use it in other tool. So for the first, you have to go to the developer.microsoft.com, right, and log in with your credentials. You should be you should have the permissions to the Graph API, right, and so you have to log in, and then you have to give some permissions, right, the like API connectors and all those, like whatever permissions. There are many permissions are available. You have to consent, right, and all the consent is required, the admin access. So make sure you are admin access. You can always go to the modify permissions, like user read, directory read. These are the permissions you have to give it, and this is very important. If you don't give the permissions to your account, then you won't be able to access it, right? So you just seen I have just given one consent, and this role does not require consent permission, but for this one I have just given, and it's in process, right? So how you can do, there is a two type of this one is like 1 point version Graph API version 1.0 and the beta. So the version 1.0 is the live. You can use it for productions. If you want to test something in the beta, you can use it beta. You see there are similar. If you are already developers or already using the API, you can like get, means you can pull the information you want to post, like anything in the Intune, you can do it, put, patch and delete. If you want any one of the operations, you can do it through the API or the tool. So I would recommend because the version 1.0 is actually in production, so you can use this one. But like I mentioned, I will show you some of the beta features. So I just switch to the beta, and I will just pull the informations here, and then you see the sample queries here. Like if you want to see the my profile, click and the run query, you will see all those information here. So there are many informations here. You can pull the information, but I will show you some interesting thing. You can go to the resources, and since I have selected beta, so I have to switch to the beta here under the resources as well. So I'm turning on this beta. Maybe you have not seen, maybe you have using version 1.0 and using only simple query. I will show you some advanced query with the beta versions so that you can explore it more, right? So you see I have selected beta here. I have went to the resources, and you have to switch to the beta, turn on. You can always turn on and turn off. And now here if you switch up the beta, these are actually beta for the testing, right? But you can use it not in the productions, but you will see if you click on here get devices, you see the URL is changing, is a beta devices, right? If you select version O, you see the version O devices, right? So the URL is actually changing here, and if you click here you will see there is no presence, right? Similar, like if you want to do some count here, if you click on count, you will see graph.microsoft.com beta device count. If you click on here, you will see. So similar, like there are many functions are available, many queries are available here. Like if I want to get the management policy here, you see mobility management policy, so you will see here all this information. So this is actually, let me search for some compliance, right? So I want to see, like there is a post. I don't want to post anything, I just want to see the compliance, device compliance policy status here. So here beta me, right? Beta me manage devices, manage device ID and device compliance status. If you run this one, you have to put the, here in the bracket you see you have to put the manage device ID. So from where you get the managed devices ID, you have the device ID register, a device register in the Intune. You can click any of the devices, and on the top browser you can get the device ID from there, right? And if you want to just see this one, manage device ID compliance policy, device compliance policy ID. If you want to get the device compliance policy state ID, so what do you have to do? You have to go to the compliance policy here, and you have to grab the policy ID. So if you click, if you have any policy created, you can create a policy, just click on the policy, and on the top you will see the ID. You can replace it here, right? In the here policy ID and the managed device ID, and if you run it, it will see. If you need any kind of permissions, you can always go to the permissions and you will see, right? This is how you can copy this URL, right, and use it in the Postman or any third party like Visual Studio, PowerShell, to pull the information. And this is actually, I can say, it's a very good tool for if you are building the reporting, like for managed devices, how many devices compliance policy count is there, like anything you want to look for managed devices star compliance. This is actually very good tool to explore it and use it. If you don't want, because you will be using in the PowerShell or some automation, so you will not be logging with your credentials, right? So you should register your applications. You have to register your application in the Azure and get the application ID and key. I will show you where is it. Actually, you have to log in into the Microsoft Azure portal, and you should be Azure portal admin as well. And then here, this is Microsoft Azure, and you have to go here, app registrations. This is only for the automation with the, not interactive, it will be uninteractive, right? So you have to register the applications here. Like I'll just give graph API, and then I don't want to, and just register these applications. As soon as you register this application, right, you can manage it here. You can put all those informations, API. If you want to give some API permissions, you can, by default is user read, you can add the permissions here. Like I want to add the permission of graph API application permissions. Like there are so many permissions, which permissions there, right? I want to read and write. Don't give so many permissions, and then you have to grant the permissions as well. So This is, I have already made video on this, how you can grant and re-add the permission. Now you have to generate the certificates key, you have to generate the new client certificates, and this will expire of like whatever you can select, 90 days, 20 days, or custom date. Recommended is 6 months, so I will select the 24 months, and then I will go give like API key. Right, click, you see, and this one you have to copy. It's only one time visible, so you have to copy this one, and then if you move away from, then it will not show. So this is how you can generate the value, secret ID and the value, and then you have given the permissions right here. Whatever the permission is there, you, if you want to use the authentications, you can also customize all this. This is how you can generate, and you see the API key and value, right? If you want to use the certificate based authentications, you can always do, and this one you can always delete and copy. So now you need the API key. From where you will need the API key? This is the application ID. If you go to the overview, and this is the application ID you will need if you want to do some automations. If you don't want to put your credential while accessing while running some script in the PowerShell, you should use this application ID, tenant ID, and then the client secret ID and the secret key, right? And then you can use it here as well, like if you in the Graph API as well, without logging into this one, because you have granted all the permissions, you have registered the applications here, and then so you can put it here and modify the permissions here as well, and then run the same command, like same API URL in the tool, right? In either in the Microsoft Graph or Postman or any other. So I hope you learn how you can use this Graph API, how you can explore it. You see, I have just registered, so you see Graph Explorer. In the past I have also registered one more, right? Graph Explorer. So you can see all this information, security, single sign-on and everything, right? You can do lots of things with the Graph Explorer, so please explore this one, and this will help you to learn and use and automate in any of the third-party tool to do some automation for your company, build the report or any purpose. Till then, thank you, have a good day, bye bye.